Good morning, Eliza. Good morning. I hope we are all great. I'm speaking to you coming from Zambia, Lusaka, Zambia. Maybe can I just you commenting where you're listening me from before I start, so that I confirm that everyone is able to hear me. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You see some good comments here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning from Namibia. That's great. All right. Okay, so let me start. My name is Humphrey Musonda. By profession, I'm an environmental technologist and I'm a manager in the business. So this morning, I just thought of sharing with you about the power of making a decision. You know, I can ask you this question. Have you ever looked back and realized that one decision changed everything? Like one decision. Like for me personally, I remember when I look back, there are so many decisions that I made that changed some things in my life. Okay, including the decision of starting forever. But if I were to ask you, have you ever, if you are to look back, can you realize that maybe that decision that you made, it can be that maybe when maybe the business was not making sense, was not working, maybe you decided to say, let me try maybe to run and hard. Let me try to boost. And maybe you realize you started having sales, or maybe you said, okay, let me try physical activity as well. I see if it works for me. Then you realize it started working for you. You know, why decision matters? Because when you make a decision, that's where actually the growth starts from. You know, they say that our destinies are shaped in that moment of making a decision. We are where we are today because of the decisions that we make in the past. You are in forever because you made a decision to join forever. In this 5 a.m. session, because you decided to say, wake up early so that I can start my day on a lighter note. So that's a power. That's why decision is very, very important. One thing I should remind you is that success in forever doesn't happen by chance. It starts with a decision. For example, you made a decision to join forever. That's the first step. Second, you have made a decision to wake up early to join this meeting. But also, if you want to see the growth, are you going to make a decision to be consistent, to be joining these sessions so that you are starting your day on a lighter note? Are you going to are you going to make a decision to be coachable so that you know how the business works? Are you going to be are you going to make a decision to become a leader? Because also to become a leader is a decision you make, then of course. Yeah, it's a decision that you make. Yeah. And many people in Forever, I do see them join, but only those who decide to treat it like a little business are the ones that actually see the massive, massive growth of the business. People treat comes in the business and they don't want to treat it like a little business. You know, like you find someone has been in the business, maybe they've been for more than maybe 3 months, more than 1 year. If you see them, can I meet you? Let's say, let me give an example. Maybe your upline calls you to say, come with your working tools. You find someone is not being organized. They don't even have maybe the book where they liked their customers, where they can point at, okay, so I talked to this customer. I recommended this product to this customer. This customer said they'll get this product on this day. They don't have that. They don't have a book or a paper where they can point at and say, um, this is my prospect. Maybe we met somewhere this way. And of course, I've shared the opportunity. I've not yet shared the opportunity to this person. And this is the feedback I got from this person they don't have. So you find that it's very hard for them to track the business. Hence, they end up saying forever is very hard. The business is very hard because they're not organized. They're missing out on people. Because definitely, if I were to ask, if you're not having the record where you're lighting your prospect and customers, how possible can it be that you can be able to follow up on those people? How possible can it be that you can be able to follow up on those customers, on those prospects? No. you find that it can be bit hard for you to do that. So it's a decision that you make to say, I'm going to treat this business like it's a real business. And in a real business, definitely you need to continue learning more on how that this business works. You need to continue learning more on, maybe if you're behind on how to make sales, you need to make some research. Sometimes don't just rely on your uplines. Don't just rely on the group information. Go alone, go out there, find information. Because remember, what you're building is not just a business of selling tomato. So it's just a business of selling whatever clothes or whatever people say on the WhatsApp status. No, you're building something big. You're building something big, something that your generation is going to inherit. So if you want to see massive success in this business, we just have to decide to say, let me treat it like a real business, and the real results will come if you decide to do that. Let me give you my roadmap to manager, and in this roadmap to manager, I can vividly tell you that I can vividly remember that every move up that I made at any particular point, there was a decision that I made. Okay, so I remember I started the business in 2000. So all these CCs were seen in the personal CCs, not including my team CCs. These are personal CCs. This is my journey. I just thought of sharing with you because sometimes we can have people in here and maybe they're doubting to say, what, I've been in the business for quite some time, what, or maybe that leader, you see that leader is being recognized now, or you see them, they're doing better and whatnot, and we think maybe there's just something that maybe their journey was they were smooth, something like that. No, I remember I started the business in May 2022, and that was on 15th May 2022. And that's when I started the business. Of course, I started by as a half member. I purchased the product with 0.5 cc. The following month, I remember I just sold something like a C9 and something small, which made up to 1 cc, something like that. And according to our forever marketing plan, you have to do 2 cc within 2 months. So I failed, in short. In July, that's when I made 1.49 and I finished, meaning in 3 months, that's when I said I became a full member. Starting the business, of course, a decision that I made. And to ensure that I go to full membership, it's the decision that I made. Really, I made this decision because I remember when I was finishing up, there's a client who was about to buy the last, actually the last order. And that client, went mute for some more. I called her, I used different numbers until I got that sale, and I managed to finish the full membership. So, when I started the business, I really wanted to recruit. So in August, I focused much on recruiting, and the results of every activity, it's compound. Then you start having results. So in August, I felt to sell anything because I didn't put much effort in that. I wanted to recruit. And in September, I managed to recruit two half members. Why? Because in my mind, I was thinking it's starting as a full member, it's a lot of money because even me, I started as a half member. So someone can just start as a half member. So these are decisions that we should make in business. You should make in business. Sometimes we think if you recruiting full members, it's a lot of money. No, it's just a decision to make. If you want, you can just be recruiting full members. I remember there was a certain training that I joined. Gooch, she said, me, whenever I see someone comes with half membership, I take them to my downlines. It's just a decision that she has made. Because yes, that's a cheap, but we're not saying if I have member in this meeting or maybe recruiting half member is bad. No, I'm just trying to say sometimes just need to treat that mindset of thinking maybe half members is cheaper because we find that to be recruiting half members and to be failing them, even to take them to assistant supervisor, because the only thing that you want is to recruit and get that small bonus. That's the only thing that you want. So because I was not much skilled, because I was not, still learning and whatnot, I felt to take these people to assistant supervisor, and they stopped the business, and I started seeing the business became so very hard for me. I thought it was so very hard for me. And I stayed, I think, for more than 4 months. I think I wanted to stop the business, if I were to be honest. And I started lying to my upline. No, the people are saying the products are expensive. No, leader, I'm doing all the activities, but I can't see the results. So I stayed for about 4 months without doing any CCs. Understand? So in this year of 2022, I only closed with 3.72 CCs the whole 8 months of this year because I started in May. And in January, of course, I missed my CCs because I was still running. But now there was one point when I went home, when I was coming from my doing my attachments because I was a student by then. That was 2023. So when I went home, I was at my cousin's place because I used to stay with my cousin. Then he told me to say, my brother, I've got a plan for you. When you finish school, I want us to start poultry business. You know, me hearing that, I was like, hey, someone is having a plan for me. Well, as I'm even having I'm having forever that I can actually have a plan for myself. So I made a decision when I go back to school, I'll never come back. I'm going to build the business until it works for me and I'll never come back home. It's a decision that I made. And immediately that day when I made the decision, I started making some follow-up to my clients. And one client bought C9 and I remember they gave me money to come and do the registration. And I made some tough decisions. I said, I'm not going to do the registration when I go to school. I'll just be learning, then I'll pay later. I use that money. Number one, I use that money to learn health. Secondly, I use that money because I got that money and also plus the money of the cement that I sold. I bought some nice clothes to say whenever I'm sharing the opportunity, people has to see me that I'm sharing something that is making sense. So those are the decisions that I made. You know, sometimes we fail to make some tough decisions. Remember, those were registration money. I didn't know when maybe they would have started chasing us from classes, but I just made that decision to say, no matter what, let me go for this. Whatever comes, come. So I remember in February, I even did 1.6 cc. I did not do 4 cc, but I made 1.6. And remember when I started the business, for me, I just wanted to be making extra income for me to support myself for groceries. So me doing 1.6, you know, the money for 1.6 is good. I can buy groceries from there. You know, in March I did 1 cc, but I was striving to ensure that I started learning out. I started doing 4 cc in April. I remember I just sold 2 C9s. I made 0.4, and in May I did 5 cc. You know, I remember this day was actually they were given an incentive. If you do 5 cc, you're going to attend dinner when our country sales manager will come in your country, something like that. I did that. The following month, I failed. I felt so very bad to fail this because, you know, when you start making 4 cc, there's that excitement that it comes with. So I failed. But in July, I did my 4 cc and my team started learning how to do. By this time, I was having about two under me. So in July, they adapted as well. They did some good CCs, 4 ccs, 4 cc. And in August, I did also. And in September, I managed to finish my supervisor. So if you can see this journey, it's a journey of making a decision because it was not easy along the way. So you see, failing 4 cc, you do 4 cc, you know. In October, I became a supervisor. In October, I failed my 4 cc. In November, I failed my 4 cc. I only did in December. You see, so in this year, I just closed the total CC with 65. This is including with my team CC, team members. So now we went for Success Day, our Legion Success Day. It was in Kenya. And when I went there, I made a decision to say, I want to be a manager as quickly as possible. I want to be a manager. I made a decision to be a manager in January, that my journey will start in January. But if you can see my personal CCs there, I failed to do my 4 cc. Even in February, I failed. But because I made the decision, you know, the decision comes with responsibilities, comes with making that mind of doing the activity. So as much as I failed my forces in January, that was 2024 last year, and in February I failed, but I was doing massive of activities. So in March, it started compounding, and personally, I did 9.7 cc's. Personally, I did 9.7 cc's, and I said, I'm going to start the journey from this year. My two members, I think they did that 3 point something because in total in this March, we only had, I think, something like 14 cc's, 14 point something cc's because I made a decision. In April, my team started doing massive. I remember in April we doubled. I doubled what we did in March. I think we got something CCs. In May, we did 40 something CC with a team, but these are where my personal CCs. In June, I think we did again 30 something CC, and in July, I was finishing up. I was finishing up. So I made a decision to say my first month will be March, but because we did few CCs, I felt to finish my manager in June. So I had to finish it in July. And my manager was done. From there, I can't fail to do my first CC because it's now in my blood. And yeah, even if the first CC were to be hard, I have to find the means to finish that first CC because you're a manager. Failing to do first CC, you miss everything. So if you can see this journey, it holds a journey of making a decision. I decided to share with you this my journey because someone maybe you have given up. Maybe I've given up to say, maybe I won't be a supervisor, maybe I won't be a manager, maybe I'll just be here. Let me tell you, my journey was not so easy. And my heartland is not even actually. Maybe you are lucky you are staying with your heartland in the same country, maybe in the same region, maybe in the same city. For me, my heartland is from another country. It was just a communication on the phone call and whatnot. But I thank God when I was going to finish my manager, she came to my country, of course, to support something like that. Yeah, so I was sharing this with you, this my journey, so that maybe if you have given up, let me tell you, just make a decision. No matter where you are, even if you have zero CCs right now, as I'm speaking to you, if you have zero CC right now, just make a decision never to close this month with zero CC. Just tell yourself you're going to do 4cc. If you tell yourself you're going to do 4cc, even if you fail that 4cc, you end up having maybe 2cc. The money you're going to make from that 2cc will give you the energy to start to make 4cc the following month, because you're going to have the money maybe to contribute to the meeting rooms. You're going to have money maybe to learn ads. Maybe you're going to have money to print flyers. Maybe you're going to have money to move from point A to point B. So just make that decision. Trust me, making a decision, I know it comes with responsibilities. You know that when you wake up, you have to post on your social media platforms, maybe the products, maybe you need to create a video and talk about your business. That's the power of making a decision. So making a decision is not just about saying, okay, I'm going to be a supervisor. No, it comes with that convictions to say, I really need to start doing the activities for me to have the result that I want. So deciding versus wishing, some people, they just wish, they don't decide. Wishing is passive. I hope I succeed. When you're doing activity, you're saying, hey, I hope this hard, I'll sell. I hope when I go for physical activities, I'll collect a lot of numbers. But deciding is active. I'll do what it takes. When you go for contact marketing, let's say physical activities, you decide, I'm going to collect 10 numbers today. Trust me, you're going to collect those 10 numbers. I'm going to collect 20, you're going to do that. When I learn this side, I'm going to sell. When you say that, even when you're making calls for those people coming in your inbox and whatnot, you're going to talk to them like you really want to help them, and you end up selling. So stop wishing and start deciding today. For example, I wish I want to be I wish it's like I want to be a supervisor. Wish I can be a supervisor or manager. Wish I can be a supervisor or manager. Those are just wishing. You won't be a supervisor if you're wishing. Even if it's just 10cc, it's not easy, because I remember we used to do 25cc to become a supervisor, but in the first month was always tough because you are trying to stretch yourself to do more than you used to do. Let's say you are used to do 4cc first, now you need to do 10cc. It was asked to do 10 because in most cases people were going to supervise. The first month we used to do 10cc. Then the following month we do 15cc. So I know as much as they have put to say you need to do 10cc just first month to be a supervisor, you need to stretch yourself. It can seem simple like that, but you need to stretch yourself. Unless if they say do 10cc in 2 months, but as much as it's just 10cc in the first month and it's something that you have never done before, you need to stretch. So if you're wishing, it won't happen. You find that you're going to stay 1 year, 2 years, even more than that, becoming a supervisor with just 10cc. And when your upline is telling you, they'll be telling you just 10cc, just 10cc, because they know 10cc is simple if you make a decision. It's not that it's that much tough. No, it comes with just a decision. Making a decision. Your upline can say go to supervisor, your upline can say go to manager, but if you have not made that decision, you won't go. Me, I personally can see Whenever I see the growth in my business, it's a decision that I make to say I want to see the growth because I know it comes with responsibilities and I have to go for those responsibilities. So deciding is I will present daily, I will follow up, I will read. Taking the responsibilities is what we call making a decision. So what to decide on to succeed in forever business? Number one, decide to treat forever like it's a real business. Want to see growth? Start treating it like it's a real business. Decide to show up daily. Trainings, presentation, follow-ups, show up every day. Decide to develop skills. You can't build something that you don't know how it works. Yeah, I always say these words. You can't build something that you don't know how it works. Only that people who just were there, if you just only maybe attend the presentations only, and really please decide to there. I think we just have about 7 skills that you really need to learn. We have a book, a powerful book, GoPro by Eric Cole. GoPro by Eric Cole. You can find it on, let's say if you're using it, okay, let me say you can find it on Boom Play. It's there. When you are washing, when you are walking, you can be listening. It is there on Boom Play. It's very simple. It is there on Spotify. I think it's there as well. It's there on YouTube. If you're not someone who loves reading, and I can tell you, for me, GoPro, I've never read it like using a physical book. I was listening to it on YouTube. It's about 2 hours, 50 minutes. If I'm home, I'm washing clothes, I used to listen to it. I'm going to the office, I used to listen to it. Like I've listened to that book more than maybe 20 times. Sometimes I used to listen to it in the month twice because I really wanted to learn those skills on how to talk to people, because I know when I started building my business, when I started building my downlines, they would depend on my skills. Your team is depending on your skills. So if you don't know, let's say you apply your downline saying, how can I register the person? You apply, you don't know how to register a person, you understand? So know those things. No product knowledge, leaderships, communication. Try to work on that. It all those comes with a decision. It's a decision you have to make to say, I need to learn. I need to know this skill. I need to know how to prospect. I need to know how to sell. I need to know about how C9 works. I need to know collagen works, and also communication skills. And also decide not to quit when it's tough, because it won't be easy. Definitely it could be tough. I usually tell people, my people, to say, lot to success, a lot to, I mean, the business of forever is a lot to success. It's a lot to success, and every lot to success is not easy. It's tough. It's tough. You're going to find people maybe, you know, sometimes even maybe when you are with your friend, you do forces, your friend has failed to do forces. Sometimes that friend can even be envious to you, it's a lot that you're going to know the real people, the fake people in your life. Sometimes you do better, other people are not happy. It's a lot that you're going to, you talk to customers, they promise you they don't buy. That person said they'll start and they never. There's some people, there's some prospects. You can talk to them and they promise you as if they have money, as if they are going to start in the next 2 hours, but they don't have money. So the journey won't be easy, to be tough, but decide not to quit, because only those people who don't quit are the people wins. Winners never quit, they say. Okay, but also decide to close every month with not less than 4 CC active, because at least as much as if you have got a team, let's say if your team fails, you do 4 CC, show up. You do 4 CC. And this just reminds me of the training that I think it was a training of Gucci in the global area, I think for this year in Paris. Said there was a time my team members used to leave the group, but I decided not to quit. I decided to be doing my 4 CC every single month, and we can see the goods, the lives that she's living. We can see the decisions that she's making. So all those, it's a decision. We don't just have to be thinking to say, maybe because these people have been in the business for quite some times, maybe that's why they're doing those. No, it's just the power of making a decision. Like Ether decided to come up with 5 a.m. session, whether there is a speaker or not, she wakes up and teach. It's a decision she has made to help people. She just aim on helping people. If you can see the people that it's us who benefit from it, we are not even in our team, some of us. Of course, maybe we might be in the same group, but we are not under her. She's not benefiting anything from us, but she has made a decision to put an impact on another person. It's a decision that she has. So whether there is a speaker or not, she show up because she knows this is the responsibility that comes with making a decision. And thank you so much, Leader Ether, for that. Because leading this 5 a.m. session, it helps us a lot. So indecision is a thief of opportunities by Jim Rohn. So not making a decision, it's a thief. We find that the time will be going. Ladies and gentlemen, time is going. Like this year is almost done. We're only meeting with this month. Today's what, 12th? But it's already gone. We're almost finishing September. We're only meeting 3 months. We're only meeting 3 months. Trust me, 3 months is very little. So if you're not going to make a good decision today to say, let me work on my business, this year will end and your next year won't be good. Because trust me, according to what I know, according to my own experience in this business, how you close the year also matters on how you're going to open another year. If you want to open a good year next year, start recruiting massively this year so that you have the people to start with well in the next year. If you have the team is not responding well, replace them this year so that next year you start on a lighter note, you start working those new people. Sometimes things, same people for quite sometimes they stop responding to you. They see as if you depend on them. So make that decision. If you're not able to sell this year, you have been struggling to sell, start learning on how to sell. Because imagine you learn how to do 4CC this year. Next year, you're going to be a supervisor. Next year, you're going to be a manager. Trust me, because if you start selling, there'll be a cash flow in your business and your business will be moving very, very well. So make that decision. And I know for sure that you're going to you're going to have massive results. So thank you so much. I think let me end here. Uh, thank you so much for attending and to listening to this time. My name is Humphrey, speaking to you from Zambia. I feel good to talk to people from other countries. It feels good. So thank you so much, Heather, for the opportunity. And I believe with the little information that I've shared, with the little inspirations, people are going to make good decision today and they're going to change their businesses. Thank you so much.